What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode here of Palangi Studio of Rock, only on Radio Wigwam. Today we have Black Note Graffiti going on here. What's going on, everybody?
What's
Hey,
up?
how's it
How you
going?
doing there? Gabrielle and iPhone, how you doing?
Because your thing says iPhone.
I was trying to find your guys' names everywhere, and I go, I can't find the band guys' names. What is your name?
That's you, iPhone.
That's you, iPhone.
Oh, mine says iPhone. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
Chris. I'm like, are they talking to me? Yeah,
All right,
this is
Chris.
Chris.
iPhone, of course.
Because usually I was searching everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know their full names, man. All right. Well, welcome aboard here. We just, casual hangout. We're talking. We're hanging in the studio. Where are you guys from? Let's start off with that. Where are you guys from right now?
Well, we're based out of Ann Arbor, but we're a Michigan band pretty much. So we're kind of like the Metro Detroit area.
Oh, nice. Is that
Yeah.
where you guys are originally from? Like,
Yeah, we're all kind
personally?
of yeah, we're all Michigan.
Okay.
Michiganders, they say.
Where does the name come from?
That's funny. We get that a lot, and then we have lots of different kinds of stories on it. But there's a couple different things. It could be, notes on a page, or that's pretty much. It's a long story, but that's kind of how it went down.
Anything to add? She feels like she wants to say something.
I mean, you guys formed that name before I was in the band. I've only been in the band for like 6 years now. And
Okay.
the story I was told was that you and Ricardo, I guess, thought sheet music looked cool, and it was like, oh, it looks like Black Note Graffiti on a page. Like, it's like, oh, that's cool. And you're like, oh, that's cool. That's the name.
That's true. I could see that now. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's really cool. I hear in your guitar player, like a lot of the tones and stuff, I hear a little rage in there. A little Rage Against a Machine.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that on this album. And I used to go see Rage when they first came out in Detroit at it was called the State Theater then. Now it's called the Fillmore. But man, those are some of like the best shows.
Yeah.
Because it was like, they were young and it was politically driven rock rap. So it was just like you definitely wanted to rage at
Intense.
those.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was sweet. So I could see how that, I never really thought about that. But yeah, there is some of that kind of vibe on this album that we got coming out and that song that we have out.
Yeah. I love the production quality too on it. I was gonna say I love the drum tones too. I watched
thank you so much.
There was drum tones from a cell phone video that you guys posted on YouTube, and I was like, those drum tones even though it's a cell phone video, I go, we're sick through
Yeah,
that.
and they're all live. There's nothing fake on this entire record, which is amazing. There's no blending or anything.
There's no AI involved.
No, there's we're a lot of records now. I mean, you could tell when you've got that huge snare and they're blending that, blending the fake snare with the real snare. But this record with the producer Josh Schroeder, and he's a drummer too and a bass player. But man, the drum tones you're right, they were awesome, and they were all totally live. And the drummer's my brother, Kurt.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll say, the brother thing, it's like cheating a little bit, being in a band with a brother, a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. That's all right. Well, at least you get along, right? Or at least I'd hope.
Not at all.
Not at all.
We do. When we were young, we played together since we were younger. When we were younger, we fought a lot more, but now we get along.
You're like really Vinnie Paul and the other guy there, Pantera, going on. No.
Yeah.
No. It's funny though, because you probably play with guys and you're around the guys long enough that you feel like you're part of a family, and you're like, we're not related, we're not family, but we've been through all this stuff together.
Yeah, they say it's harder to be in a band than it is to be in a marriage.
It is. Yeah, there's a lot of you have 6 schedules, 5 schedules to work with, whatever.
That exactly.
You guys, do you manage yourselves, or do you have a guy going out there and doing that too? Or
We have some help. We have a manager, David from Decipher, and we signed with a record label for this particular project, Golden Robot out of Australia.
Okay.
So they're doing the digital distribution for us. And then we also have Pavement, which I think they're Chicago based. They're doing some promotion stuff, and that's how we linked up with you.
Hello, Barbara. Thanks, Barbara.
Yeah, thanks,
she's
Barbara.
Awesome. She sends all the guests to me. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, she's great. She's been a big help working with our manager, David. So that's been really good. So yeah.
I know that's a big thing too. A manager can kind of make or break a band or the way it's handled. Have you had a bad experience maybe with somebody else before, or you don't have to list names, but
I mean, I have, this is the first time that I have dealt with like someone who's helped directly as a manager. I've dealt with other people in the past where it didn't work out, but nothing major bad, thank God.
Good.
Yeah.
There's some horror stories out there. Really bad ones.
Yep.
So we're getting a little technique out there. Thanks everyone for tuning in here on the audio side. Don't forget, you can head over to our social medias too, and we will be posting this stuff on our YouTubes. And what is social media anymore? You know, like Instagram. I don't know, there's so many of them nowadays. But you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, all the old places everyone hangs out. You know, they've been around for
MySpace, all of them.
Yeah, X instead of Twitter or whatever the hell it's called.
Totally.
So I want to get into vocal techniques. Is there specific things you do before a show? Is there stuff maybe you avoid to eat, or everyone's different? So I love asking this question.
That's not you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, for me personally, it depends on where we are, but I like to either kind of have something like if we're doing a show, if it's possible, like some tea or something warm to drink. I don't really eat anything spicy or do anything that's gonna like irritate my throat.
Yeah.
Like screaming and yelling with friends before the show. I tend to do that and I forget, crap, I probably should save my voice. I'm over here screaming about something stupid, I need to chill. So that in the studio, at least when I'm recording, I like to work with a song that I like. I really like to warm to Radiohead, the song Nude.
Okay.
Great song because there's a lot of very alto rangy, then like falsetto rangy, and then chest voicey stuff. So I really like that song a lot. That's probably a really good warm-up song for me.
Have you ever worked with like a vocal coach before, or anybody that's like giving you advice and be like,
I never worked with a vocal coach. I've had advice over the years. Some I've kept, some I've thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
One time I was given advice in regards to my stage presence, because I used to wear a hat a lot because I like hats. You know, hats are cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Someone was like, you should just like walk on with the hat and then like slowly take it off and then toss it to the side. And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But they made a good point because it's like, man, I've been told like, man, you sing with your eyes closed all the time. Like, we want to see you like look at people. And I'm like, oh, I guess that's important.
Yeah. I do see singers. There's a lot of them that never look at the audience or anything like that. And it's like, can they do that at least once in a while? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then I think like I've seen people live that I've liked, and I'm like, man, like I'll think like, man, why are they not looking at nobody? I'm like, well, did I do that? I do that. So man, I have to like look at people. Hold on, this is important.
Yeah.
You be so into the music, you don't think about that. So yeah, so that's advice vocally that I've gotten that.
When you were kind of first starting out, why did you choose to sing over like all the other instruments? Or you could have did this, you could have did that. What draws you to that?
I actually got drawn to singing through my mom because she was singing church all the time. So I was singing, we would sing little duets when I was like 5 years old in church. And every Sunday they'd be like, you singing again next Sunday? You singing again next Sunday? And I'm just like, sure, I guess. So then
that was your first gig.
Yeah, that honestly was my first gig. Like all the old church ladies, there was like, child, you better sing again next Sunday because you was good. And I was like, okay.
I'm going to chime in on that one. I've actually had this conversation with Gabby's mother.
Oh, really?
Super sweet. And she said that Gabby came out singing. So
okay.
came out the womb singing. Right up. So, there you go.
Yep. I guess as soon as they pulled me out, I was like,
you're hitting that alto note, right?
I was hitting runs and everything.
There you go. Chris, man, what about you? Any warm-ups or any routines? What do you do?
I really can't sing. I do some screaming and try to harmonize my best, but being up with Gabby and Ricardo is definitely hard.
Yeah.
And you can practice and practice and Ricardo pointed this out to me in the past. That's our other singer and guitar player and songwriter.
Yeah.
And he said, you got to practice, and you can get better. And I always kind of felt like, kind of insecure about it because I'm just, some people are natural singers where I am not. And so, but I think harmonies are so important and really make this band amazing. And Gabby and Ricardo just do the harmonies live. It's just another level.
Yeah.
And so I do some singing, but minimal, some screaming and singing. And like on this, as you can hear in this single that we have out now, we do this group yelling in the chorus. And we did all that live.
I wish we recorded that. That was really fun. We were already in the room with the mic in the middle, standing on the corners of the room and just going, "Stop, brother."
Yeah. And the producer
is that Place You Lie, that single?
Yeah,
the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Producer's like, get it, all you guys
get in there. You're all gonna go in there.
Yeah.
Stand in different
there is a thing when you're recording though, to like, even though the microphone might be here, for you guys to go stand way back there and do some stuff, and then do another layer where you're like halfway there, so the distance is entirely different.
Yeah.
So there's something around that for, especially for backing vocals. I don't know if they like to, they end up mixing it so it's like, like that, or so you don't know where it's coming from.
For a lot of my harmonies, at least that I did, there were the backing vocals. I did step back for a lot of those, or like a line, I'll back up, and Josh would be like, "Are you like backing away from the mic?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," because he couldn't see me while I was in there, so it was kind of
like, "Why are you doing that?"
Taken aback that I was like literally walking around in the room.
I gotta turn the gain up now. Damn.
One of the cool things that Josh did with Gabby on this record, I guess with all of us, but mainly with Gabby, is
now he produced a lot of people. I was gonna tell everybody that. Tell them who they produce. Just a couple bands you might know, right?
Yeah, he's really cool, a really super talented guy, and his studio's in his house, and it's in the whole lower level of his house. It's a really cool setup, and we used SM7 Shure for our I think it's SM7. I think that's what it is.
7 or 57?
57.
57.
And what we did is he took the filter off of the cover, the foam cover off.
Yeah.
And so it just made it a little more crispy, which I love. It just makes it a little more high end on the pronunciations and things like that.
Yeah.
And so that's how
okay.
Some of that.
Yeah, cool. Well, you're actually getting closer to the speaker too. Because one guy was like, if we could put a microphone like in the speaker, you know what I mean? We can't, but we wish we could, as close as possible. Then you have other guys that are, there's a distance here, and then you got to put another mic back there.
Did have a pop filter in front, but with the thing off.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Yeah, if you're gonna
capsule
off. Yeah.
The windscreen with the cap off. Yeah. That's how we did the vocals on the whole record. And I thought it was a great move. I would have never even thought about taking that off, which is such a small thing. But, since you brought up gear, I thought, oh, this is cool. I love this part.
Oh, did that you did a 57 for the vocals?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
it's the radio mic. What is that? SMB?
This one. You can see it. A little like these ones.
You hold it in front of you, Gabby.
That's a 7B. 7B.
7B.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, it's a 7B. Sorry, it's 7B.
That makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah. See that cover unscrews off.
Yeah.
Of that.
Yeah. This one.
I do know some people that have recorded vocals with a 57. So I was like, you took the top off the 57 and did that?
No, not a 57. That mic. But yeah, that would be cool to try too.
That would be neat. I forgot what the name of the band was. There, let me see. There's the mic. Yeah, back there. Yeah, those are cool. Those are cool. I like those. I've never recorded with one personally yet, but well, I know a lot of people have. James Hetfield from Metallica uses one. He goes like this and does them right in the control room where he is.
Yeah.
We actually tried a few different mics on the first day.
We did. We tried a lot of different
Josh was like, you sound a lot like a Haley from Paramore. She uses an SM7B. And I was like, all right, let's do it then. You're like from the last record too. So I always like those mics. They compliment me pretty well.
Do you like Evanescence?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay. She's like, no.
Not at all.
All right. All right. So some of your songs on here have been aired on TLC and MTV, all those things. What do you know? Have you like been watching TV and you're like, there's the song, it's coming right out, and you get your cell phone out or whatever. Mom, on TV.
Yeah. We had one song on a couple things on a NASCAR promo and some NFL show too, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So it is kind of cool when you're like, okay, it's going to be on this time, and you actually hear it on there. It's pretty cool.
So it's in the show underneath whatever's going on, and So it's music licensing. That's what we're talking about now.
Right? It is, and it's the funny thing about it is it's the amount of time, and the longer amount of time, the more money you get paid. So they cut you off at 5 seconds or 15 seconds or 30 seconds, because the longer the segment, the more money it's going to be.
Yeah.
So it's funny that way.
So you're like, oh, I hope it's like 30 seconds, man.
I know, it's so weird. That's the way it is. That's how it is.
They do, yeah. Even for movies and stuff, I've heard songs that are only in it for literally 5 or 10 seconds. And I'm
exactly.
Like, it's not enough to really go like, who is that band? But you're like, what was that? You know what I mean?
Right.
And but folks, I watch movies over and over again. So if there's a movie that you like, especially if there's a track you like in a song, rewind it back and listen to it a couple times.
Totally.
Rewind. They'd be like, what's that word? Rewind. Be kind and rewind. So I used to work for Hollywood Video. I don't know if out there anybody ever knows what that is, but
of course, yeah.
Those are the fun days, man.
Movie too, Be Kind, Rewind. That was also a movie that came out.
That was a movie. Yep. I remember we had those rewinders, right? Nobody would ever rewind VHS tapes. So, and this was when DVDs and Blu-rays were available to rent, but still, like, nobody rewind VHSs. But
I remember that. Yeah.
So your new music video, I seen you guys posted footage out there that was like the drummer's take and then the bass player's take and guitarist, and I thought that was kind of cool how it was like split that way. So was it done individually behind a screen, like one by one?
No, it was actually it was Wombat, who was a great videographer, but the way he did it, which was crazy, we had a meeting before and he's like, okay, I'm gonna shoot everyone individually. And we did no shots with the whole band ever in the whole video. Then that's how we did it. So that's why it's like that, which I thought, wow, this is crazy, but it actually worked really well. It was pretty cool. Yeah. Right.
Well, you can kind of focus on each person's parts and what he wants for his look for each, when you're together, obviously that's a traditional band thing, right? You get everybody together. Exactly. It's a nice wide view. Yeah. So it's different. Was that different experience from the other music videos and stuff you guys done? Yeah. But
before you've got 3 cameras or whatever, and they're just videoing you the whole time, and then they cut it all up. And where this was, just shooting each member throughout the song several times, and then he uses what he likes, which is actually a really great idea. I thought it was something, I'm sure it's been done, but it was still a unique concept.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, not gonna lie, it's kind of awkward because like you don't have nobody around you, so you're just like,
totally.
And we're in this huge white space, so you have all this room, but not all this room at the same time. So you're trying to like be into it.
Totally.
Just like,
you're like, there's no props. It's like being on Star Wars. There's a green screen behind me. What do I do?
Basically,
that's an elephant over there. It's a creature. There's this, laser shots are going over here. You're like,
and then you end up like hating the song for 2 weeks because you've heard it like 100 times by that
That's
point.
right.
Everybody's doing their thing multiple times. Times 5. Yes.
My question would be, did they play it back at the normal speed, or did they play it back? You know,
We
what I'm
did
talking
both.
about? You did both.
We did
Okay.
it both. Yeah. Yeah, we did it both. We did some really fast, and I don't know if we did slow, but we did fast.
Yeah. How do you play to that fast? It's like,
I remember we did that for the Nights video, and that was pretty intense. Like, I think because I edited that one, and it's just seeing the raw footage was really funny. Everyone's just like, it looks terrible. When you slow it down, it's like, oh, that's sweet, but it looks so funny.
That's cool.
And just sweating and just, yeah.
So you edited that video? Do you like the video editing?
Yeah, for Nights, I did that one.
Yeah, she did Nights. She did a great job. You check it out. It's on YouTube.
Nice. Is that something you've always been into, the video editing, or?
I mean, yeah, I went to school for it initially, before I got into the field that I'm in now. And that, like, because I always wanted to work on TV and stuff like that, but then I realized, oh, that's freelance. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. What mic do you use live? What type of mic?
It's a 58 beta.
58.
Okay. Yeah, I used to use that one. Those are nice.
I like that one, and I also like the Sennheisers.
Yeah.
Those are actually really crispy. But yeah, but
do you know what year you're like when you bought the Shure microphone?
Chris actually got that one.
Yeah, it's probably it's newer, but it's probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years old. But I really like the Shure 58s on female vocals. Usually it's like a go-to, because I used to do sound for like blues and rock stuff. And I just always really like that mic. It's just a go-to solid workhorse. Not crazy expensive, but I love the Sennheiser too, but Sennheisers.
Yeah.
But the Beta 58 is I think it's a great female vocal mic in general.
Yeah. It picks up, I think no matter what type of voice, it picks up everything pretty well. I had one from about the year 2000. I was like, I probably should have never sold it, because they make them different now than they do even then. I have some of the Unidel ones. I have a Unidel 57 and Freddie Mercury's 58 from like the 70s. That type. They definitely sound different, and I don't want to use the word better, but they're solid. They're actually made of metal, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
But they're all chrome.
I use a 57 Beta for myself live.
Yeah. I mean, those are. Do you have any endorsements? Brand endorsements?
Right now, we don't know.
Okay.
We just really haven't got into it. I mean, it's something we could do definitely, but we just not right now. No.
If you ever check out Cat Audio, they have a bunch of stuff, and it's all very good budget wise. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Yeah, but it's really high quality too. That's why I do every show with this. I don't always wear the t-shirt, but today I'm just supporting wearing the t-shirt for them.
Nice.
But they've been awesome for me, and they have a lot of studio stuff, live stuff, drum stuff, and everything too. But I was gonna say the other company you may want to check out. Have you tried an SE mic? SE Electronics? No. Try one of those out one day. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
There's cool. The SE Electronics. You want the V7? Try that one.
Nice.
Let me know what you think.
That's cool.
Be curious. Yep. Actually, yeah, never mind. I was like, I got one lying around. I'm a gear guy, because if I reverse this, I have a bunch of gear and stuff to record guitar and vocal. I got a drum set stuff over there, and so I'm kind of a studio rat gear guy.
Setup in the back looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, the vocal booth is in there with guitar cabs and stuff isolated kind of in the back there, which is nice. But I got other stuff going on here. But what I mean, I don't know if you've experienced it. Like, you ever use like a tube microphone, or like I get into some different preamp stuff. I don't know in the studio, like how involved are you? Where you're like,
you used to use the ribbon mic a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
live. Then it kind of got crazy because it's sensitive.
yeah. Oh yeah,
But that mic always sounded cool because it was like you're talking through like a radio basically. It kind of had
yeah.
the
That's
so
kind of cool for studio for recording stuff like that too.
I don't know if we did we use that in the studio? I don't think we did at all.
No,
Nor the
we
last.
didn't. We didn't use the ribbon mic, but yeah, it's like the kind of like the Beatles vibe.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
it's really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
that
you?
on oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you guys write songs together as a band, or are you like, oh, I got lyrics and they got the music, and let's get together and
It's kind of a mixture of all that.
okay.
Sometimes Rick will have an idea or I'll have an idea like musically and we'll bring it to everyone and we'll flesh it out together. It'll be a whole song. Or it'll be just like a little cook or a line or whatever.
Now this single, we did finish it and write it in total in the studio,
Oh,
which was pretty cool because it was our single. So we had like the parts down and everything, but then Gabby, you pretty much wrote the lyrics and the song, the lyric structure in the studio, right?
well, with that song, the parts of that song were already written. Is just it was a longer song. It was probably around like 6 minutes, 5 minutes almost. It was a very long
Oh
song.
wow. Okay.
Um,
Wow.
and Ricardo wrote basically the bare bones of all of that, the instruments, as far as like the guitars. And then we took it to the studio, and Josh and I and Chris, we kind of chopped it up and was like, let's rearrange, make a bridge, blah 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 blah. And then with the lyrics and all that,
You wrote those in the studio.
yeah, it's funny because a lot of that was just a bunch of like, for example, the bridge didn't have lyrics yet, so it was just a bunch of ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da, like
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So that was a lot of fun. So we were listening to a lot of ba 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 das for weeks until we
That's all
actually.
right. Got to get the melody down, right? Because sometimes there's a melody, you're like, I love that, but I don't know what to say to it. I have no
And
idea.
that's honestly how I like writing. I like writing the rhythm or the cadence than the words because I want to know kind of what sound I want my mouth to make and then put the words to it because I feel like that's kind of more important personally.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. I like
Because
that.
it's like a hard hitting part. You don't. I feel like S's and T's like hit way harder than like a wuh or like a shuz
Yeah.
way harder than like a you. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
just the sounds are really important to me.
You find that too certain times where like you record and you're like, it has to be like you said, you like I really want to say that, but it doesn't work because it doesn't push.
Yeah, exactly. Like the chorus of that song, it's just stop with it. The sound is just so like in your face, and the
Mhm.
word stop itself is just okay, like chill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
cool.
True.
So we have we're gonna be playing some Fallacy, some Nights, and I want to talk about White Rabbit. Is that the song too that got used for licensing? Because that's a cover song, right?
It hasn't been used for licensing yet, but it would be excellent for that.
Okay. Because I've heard other versions and I listen to yours and I go, I think I've heard that somewhere. I swear I have. It definitely could be. It definitely
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah, it turned out for a cover. It turned out awesome.
Why'd you choose that song over all the other cover songs in the universe?
Well, Ricardo came up with the idea, and it was because it was the 50th anniversary of the song when we covered it, which was a couple years ago. And so we just tried it, and Gabby kind of gelled with it really well. And so we started playing it live, and then we're like, all right, let's record it.
Yeah.
So, and how it went down.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I never really listened to that song very much because I'm 25, so I never really cared too much about that song. When I was listening to it when we were doing it, I was like, man, these lyrics are wild. Like they're
Yeah.
definitely on some drugs.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
how high you have to be to write
Yeah,
those lyrics?
sure enough, they definitely were. I'm
You
like,
you
talking
have
about.
to be really high.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
was just like,
super
man.
high.
And I was
Yep.
like, these lyrics make me like just feel crazy right now, but I'll sing it.
You come across the things like that's before my time, but you're listening to it and you're like, but you have to find, right? You have to find something that means something to you within that song, or
Yeah.
else you just don't want to sing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly, for me, it was just the melody. Like it's so hip. It's like very hypnotic in a way. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
like I
And
always love Purple Haze from Jimi Hendrix. There's something about
Yeah.
that, you know? So there's always something in that you're like, yeah. But
Mhm.
then you take a John Mayer song. I'm like, I never, ever want to do a John Mayer song my whole life.
You don't like daughters? Come on.
I tried doing Heartbreak Warfare, and I'm like, I'm done.
Heartbreak Warfare.
I am done. But
I don't know any John Mayer songs, but I had a friend who just went to the Dead and Company show in Vegas at the Sphere, and he said that was amazing.
Really good. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, because basically, I mean, this is kind of a tangent, but the Grateful Dead really never had a great singer. You know, really, not to rip on their vocals
More
or
music,
whatever,
oriented.
but to bring in John Mayer into this hippie country jam music, I think probably puts a pretty good turn on the whole band. But that the Sphere venue, which I want to go to and check it out. I mean, you're surrounded by screens and you've got all this trippy Grateful Dead music with skeletons and all this flying all over the place. And I guess it's amazing. And they're there. I think it's there now.
Wow. That sounds cool.
Speaking of John Mayer, yeah.
That makes sense because he's the, Berkeley, structured, and he got that other style going on. And then
yeah, what a weird combo for him to get with that band.
That's cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. That's probably the one show I would maybe see with him.
maybe.
That's so funny. I think Ricardo told me John Mayer was the one.
If it was free,
that he actually got to flick off to his face.
Really?
What?
Yeah, he said somebody he was working at like on the side of the stage, and John Mayer thought he was just like hot stuff, and Ricardo was like "F you" and like flipped them off. I was just like, "Wow, Rick."
Nice.
Oh boy. I don't have anything against him. I've watched some of the live stuff and I go, he doesn't really like have stage presence for the audience or, how we think of a show sort of thing. He's just kind of up there playing guitar, which, my old guitar teacher went to Berkeley with him the same years. And they said that he would just be sitting around playing guitar a lot. Obviously there was like parties and people group stuff going on, but I'm just like, she said he was very
the guy that would bring his guitar to the party and sit in the corner.
Exactly. He's very dedicated. I think he'd be on the lawn or something. She said, that kind of thing. He's probably, if he ever sees this, probably like, that's not entirely right, but that's the story I heard, John. I don't know.
That's funny.
But
be the guy.
Yeah. So, it's on this show, we just hang out and we talk about stuff that we like and whatever. So I always like to bring stuff like that up, and tangents are fine. They're cool. It's internet radio. So it's fine.
Internet's just a big tangent anyway.
Yeah. Ride the wave. Like he said, Chris, like you got wide there.
Yeah, we're good. We're flying around.
Oh yeah. So before we go here, what do you think about, you guys, you get songs played on, let's say FM, local FM, then you got XM, right? And then you got internet radio. And then you have stuff like TikTok things where it's just they pick your songs out and they put them in videos. Like, what do you think of all that? What do you think is like the thing that would help you guys the most?
I would say, in my opinion, definitely streams, even though you don't get paid for it. It's just like streams and Instagram reels and stuff like that. Like TikTok videos. It's crazy.
Popularity?
Well, yeah, I mean, it sucks to say, but that's kind of how people are like really making it, honestly, with just all these streams that on Spotify and Apple Music that you don't get paid for. But that's kind of what it is now. I wish we lived back in the day where CDs and stuff like that actually meant a lot. But the streaming world and social media kind of killed that. And now all of us are content creators instead of just creators. So, yeah.
That's right. What do you think, Chris?
I just had this conversation today, and then I was just talking to another musician about Spotify, and I just pray to God that something switches and the artists get paid. I mean, at least get paid 1 cent per play, not 0.006.
Yeah.
I mean, and the owner of the company is a billionaire. I mean, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. So it's very frustrating.
There's a hidden thing called,
because I was there when we sold CDs, and you're getting $10 a CD. You pay $2 to print it.
Yeah.
You could actually make some money, and we actually print CDs, and we still sell them at shows, and we do really well with CDs and vinyl. But the digital thing is just crazy. It's just completely almost destroyed, musicians in general. It's like you've got to tour or you've got to sell merch to make money now.
Yeah, you're professional t-shirt salesman. That's what you are.
Yeah, because what do you sell, right? We actually can't sell the music anymore. Isn't that odd?
No, it's like, here.
Isn't that what we're doing as artists?
We just worked 2 years on this album, and you can just have it. Just take it. Just give me a couple cents.
So the music, like you said, is for the merch and the live shows.
It's really weird.
And you can fight it. You can be like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to be on Bandcamp, and you got to buy it only. But it's like, at the same time, you're fighting against yourself, because now people can't easily access your stuff, meaning if their attention spans are like 2 seconds long, so they're not going to really care about you no more.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's difficult.
Yep. You want to be everywhere, but at the same time, it's like, well, you want people to actually hopefully buy the music. That's why I say on the show, every time I end the show, I go, make sure you guys support independent music. Download, don't stream. That's what I say every time. I go, please download the stuff, because we make more money than streaming. But you can always download the songs and then stream them as many times as you want. So it's always have the hard copy, at least of the MP3 file. That's all I ask.
Download them legally, not how we did when we just would burn stuff onto our LimeWire things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
Yeah, good time.
Well, thanks, guys, for coming on the show. We got Black Note Graffiti here, and they got the new single out, Place You Lie. Definitely check out the music video on their YouTube and their social medias out there. Any last words for you guys? Throw them in there.
Hello. Hi, Abby. Thank you.
Frank, thank you so much for meeting with us. Thank you for having us on. It's been a pleasure. The questions were great, and
man,
we really appreciate your time.
Anytime. Sorry I was a little late. I was telling everybody it's Eastern time, Central time. We had a little storm coming in too, so I was like, but we made it.
It was confusion. I was hoping there was nothing that happened bad. So this is fine. If this is the worst thing that happens today, we're doing great.
Good. Good. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'll be following you, and we can do some what do you call it? I can't even talk right now. Everybody, you lose at the end of the show. It just goes to train wreck. It's like train wreck, bam. No, we'll have you on again. We'll do a little refresher, let's call it.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. So we'll have a good day, and keep making the music, and send me your next your music video and all that too, and I'll throw that out there.
Sounds good. Thanks, Frank. Thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you guys out there. Palangi Studio of Rock. Have a good one, everybody.